Hi, I'm Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell that comes with it, because that means you won't miss any of the future videos that I release, and that means you won't miss out on all the different ways I'll share to help you make money, save money, and better manage your money. Now, in this video, I'm going to be building on something I did a while ago, which looked at the different streaming services for TV and films and helping you find which one's the best value for money, okay? What I'm going to do now is help you work out the best value for money ways to watch those services on your TV. Now, so many of us are watching our TV programs on demand, on catch up, whether that's the free services like iPlayer, All 4 from Channel 4, ITV Hub, My5, those kind of ones which we don't have to pay for, or whether it's the services that we want to have subscriptions to, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Now TV, Apple Plus, Disney Plus now, or even like movie rentals now. When do you last go to a shop to rent something? You probably can't most of the time now, can you? So you're renting them from the likes of Rakuten or Chili or Sky Store or places like that, okay? So so much of our media consumption is on one of these services, but how do you actually get it on your TV? Now, a lot of people will have a smart TV. Most of the TVs in the last few years are going to have apps built in to watch some of these services. Likewise, you might have a Blu-ray player, you might have a media box from the likes of Sky or Virgin or YouView, which also have the apps to watch some of these services. You can even watch them on gaming consoles, PlayStation, Xbox. So there's lots of ways you might already be watching some of these streaming services on demand, but actually on your TV rather than on your phone or your computer. The problem is you won't be able to necessarily get every single one of these services on each of those different devices. Now, I've got a more recent smart TV. It's only a couple of years old. That has pretty much everything. Samsung, I was really pleased about this. I was able to get rid of lots of my different extra boxes that I have, get rid of the wires, get rid of the remotes. However, because it's a couple of years old, when Apple TV Plus was released, that wasn't included on it. So you might find even older TVs don't even have the likes of Now TV or Amazon Prime Video. So you very, very, very good chance, although you might be able to watch some things, you won't be able to watch all things. So what I want to take you through now are the special streaming devices, the streaming sticks that will let you watch all the options, everything you want to watch, all the different channels and streaming services, but hopefully not cost you too much money. So I'm going to take you through each of these main devices one by one, starting with potentially the cheapest and potentially the best value for money. And then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what you can watch on each of those. However, the important thing to say is every single one of the ones I'm going to mention has the free catch-up services, your BBC iPlayer, your ITV Hub, your Channel 4's All 4 and Channel 5's My5. They are on every single one of these services, as is Netflix, and Disney Plus should be on every single one of those as well. And of course, YouTube is there. And if you've got YouTube, you've also got access to anything you've bought or rented from Google Play. So if they're the main things you watch, it doesn't matter which one of these things you pick. But as you'll notice, there are a few things I didn't mention there, and they do come and go depending on the device. Now let's start off with the cheapest one. It's the Now TV streaming stick. So Now TV itself is a streaming service. It's owned by Sky. I'm a big fan of it. It's a great way to get all those Sky channels for a lot less money without a long contract. So Sky Atlantic, for example, I've been able to watch the big shows with Game of Thrones when that was on, through to Westworld now, and stuff on Sky One, all these different channels, Fox, at a much, much lower price than I would have had if I was paying through Sky or Virgin or any of those kind of people. Now, the Now TV stick, it lets you watch Now TV, obviously, but that's pretty much it. Other than, as I said, the Netflix, the YouTube, and the catch-up, the free catch-up services, you will not get anything else on the Now TV stick. And that's probably why it's a lot cheaper. It's £25 full price, but you can always get it for a lot less for that. And the main way to do that is to buy it as part of a bundled box. So you get your streaming stick, but you also get a Now TV pass. Now at full price, these normally come in at around 30, 35 quid, but you can pretty much always get them for 25 or even 20 quid. And that would include not just the box, the streaming stick, but you also get, say, 1 month of cinema, which is normally £12, 1 or 2 months of entertainment perhaps, which could well be sort of £18, or a month of sport. There's all sorts of different packages at different prices, but potentially if you're going to watch something like that anyway, buy those passes anyway, and buy it with a stick, you are going to be saving yourself some money. And I've had a number of these in the past, often because it's been cheaper for me to buy ridiculously to buy passes with a box and buy passes separately, and they work really, really well. I would definitely recommend, if you're happy just to have Netflix, Now TV, and the normal catch-up services, and Disney Plus, then this is a really, really good way into it, and it won't cost you too much money at all. However, it doesn't have Amazon Prime, it doesn't have Apple TV, it doesn't have rental services like Rakuten and Chili, it doesn't have BritBox. There's a number of services which aren't on there, and that's because Sky and Now TV have really locked down the available apps. So what you want to look for instead, I think the best all-rounder, which is my next choice, is a Roku stick. Now the Roku stick is actually exactly the same technology as the Now TV stick. Basically, all Now TV have done is they've got some sticks from Roku and they've rebranded them. So they've just put different logos on them, maybe some different colours, but it's exactly the same technology, exactly the same software, but the Roku isn't restricted. There are pretty much all the different services that you want to watch on there, which is fantastic. This is the one that I've currently got in our bedroom TV because it means that we can watch pretty much every single service that we want. So while most stuff is catered for on our smart TV in the lounge, our TV in the bedroom is a normal TV. There are no apps on there, so I've got that Roku in there. I got it in a really good deal, so it didn't cost me too much money, but it means we can watch whatever we want, and it's fantastic. You can pair the remote control up with the TV as well, so the volume, turn it on and off. It's a really, really, really good device. Now, the normal one, the standard HD one, which is exactly the same one as you get with Now TV, will cost you 30 quid. Sometimes you'll see that knocked down to 25, maybe 20 quid as well if you're lucky, but it's harder to get discounts on that Roku. The 4K one is around 50 quid. Now this used to be a bit more expensive. This used to be around 60. Now it tends to sell for about 50. Occasionally you'll see offers on this as well, maybe bring it down as low as 30 quid. However, these discounts are quite rare. So if you decide you want to go for one of these two options, you are probably more likely, better off buying it than waiting, because I can't promise you when there's going to be a discount. With the Now TV one, there's always going to be a discount. So I would say wait a week, 2 weeks to get that offer. Now, if you're not sure about either of those, then you might want to check out a Google Chromecast. Now, this is slightly different to the others because it doesn't have a remote control. It works, you don't have a thing that you turn on and go to a screen and all the apps are there. Instead, it's Google Chromecast. What you do is you plug it in your TV like the others, but instead you open up your phone. And if you've got the app, let's say it's the Netflix app or the iPlayer app, you'll find a little Chromecast symbol in the corner. You press that and it sends it straight to your TV. So your remote control is actually your phone and the apps that you have. You can also cast from a Chrome browser on your computer or your laptop, which is fantastic because it also means not only can you transmit to your TV screen all your kind of the media that you want to watch, the TV and the films, you can send any kind of browser screen up. So it could just be any old web page, it could be your email. If you want to, you can put that on your TV as well. So it's handy for that kind of functionality as well. The main thing that it doesn't have, the main channel that doesn't work with it, is Apple TV. The Apple TV Plus app does not have a Chromecast function. You can do it from your Chrome browser, as I just explained. When I tried this, it was a bit out of sync, it was a bit juddery, so I didn't think it was worth the bother. So if your Apple TV is your main thing, then this one won't be for you. But actually, Apple TV Plus isn't that great. The morning show is pretty good, but there isn't a huge amount of content, so I'm sure this is not necessarily going to be a necessity for you. Once more, there are two options. The normal Chromecast, the normal HD Chromecast, that normally sells for 30 quid. Around big sale events like Black Friday, I've seen it go as low as £18. The rest of the time, you might be able to get it for 24, 25 quid. This is not often lower than that, other than the really, really big sale periods. But it might be worth waiting a couple of weeks if that's what you want and see if it does drop to that sort of 25 quid mark, then it's worth snapping up. You can also get a 4K version, the Chromecast Ultra. This will cost you 70 quid. And as it suggests it does, it has 4K streaming, otherwise it does exactly the same thing. Now I've heard rumours that later in 2020 there is going to be a new version of the 4K Chromecast Ultra, which does come with a remote control and will work slightly differently. So again, you might want to wait and see what happens there. And the next stick is one that you probably might already have heard of or seen people use, and it is the Amazon Fire Stick. Now this can be pretty good value for money because it's something that Amazon is heavily promoting, often has discounts on to try and get it into your home like they do with all their devices. It costs full price, 40 quid for a normal one and 50 quid for a 4K version, but I say you can normally get it 25, 35 quid respectively for each of those, which makes it pretty affordable. And it is a really good streaming stick. Again, I've had one of these in the past. You can get pretty much all the different streaming services apart from Now TV. So whereas, say with Now TV, you can't get Amazon Prime, with the Prime stick, Fire Stick, you can't get Now TV. So it's a case of you might have to have one of each, or get something like the Roku or the Chromecast, which does both. There is a third option, a newer option, and it is the Amazon Fire TV Cube. And this is £110 full price. But again, I have seen it discounted by, say, sort of 20, 30 quid on Amazon a few times already. And what this one is, it's a combination of the 4K Fire TV stick and an Amazon Echo speaker, which means you've got more than one functionality from it. If you haven't already got a smart speaker and you haven't already got a streaming stick, you might want to give that a go. And it's meant to do some really smart things, like you control your TV from your voice. You can say, turn my TV on, turn my TV off. If you're into that kind of thing, then that's something to consider. Now, the last one is the Apple TV box, and it comes in at a huge £179. Yes, it is 4K. Yes, it has the ability, if you want to buy a games controller, so you can download games and play special Apple designed games on there. But I think at the price, compared to all the others, it's something a step too far, even for the most ardent Apple fans. Maybe that will change as time goes on. Maybe more things will be added to it. Maybe the price will come down. But I think spend £179 on that when you can get, for say, the Roku stick for 30 quid, then I absolutely would go with the Roku stick first. Now, the big distinction, obviously, between some of these different options is that between HD and 4K. I personally also wouldn't go for any of the 4K devices right now. Okay, for a start, you need to have a 4K TV. So if you haven't got a 4K TV, there is no point getting a 4K device. If you have got a 4K TV, there's actually not a huge amount of content right now which is being broadcast on catch up on any of these services in 4K as well. Even if you've got that higher tier Netflix package, which is in 4K, again, not all of it, quite a lot of it, particularly the older stuff, isn't going to be in 4K either. I don't think it's worth the extra investment right now. A couple of years' time, that might be a different story, and we might find that the bulk of content we're watching is in 4K. Most of our TVs are 4K, and then it might be worth investing in one of these. But when it comes down to it, those prices will have come down. And if you've already got an HD streaming stick now, well, then you can just move that to a spare TV in your kid's bedroom, in your bedroom, whatever it might be. It's still going to be useful. You're still going to be able to use it to stream those services, but you're not overpaying right now for something you're not going to use. So very, very quickly, just to summarise, I think the best value for money one in terms of having all the different services, or pretty much all the different services, is the Roku stick. And you're looking at paying 30 quid for a HD version, 50 quid for a 4K version. That will cover pretty much all your bases. The only major exception there is the Chili rental service. That isn't on there, but everything else that I've used is. If you're just after watching Netflix, Now TV and your normal catch-up services, then I would go for the Now TV stick when you buy it in a bundle with a Now TV pass, because you can make it incredibly cheap. One of the best ways of getting your dumb TV to be a smart TV. If you are an Amazon completist, yeah, the Amazon Fire Stick isn't a bad thing to use. It's a perfectly good streaming service, streaming device. It's well worth having a look at it. But if you want to watch Now TV, you'll have no luck there at all. And finally, the Chromecast. I really like the Chromecast. It was the first streaming device that I ever had, but I don't tend to use it simply because I prefer having an actual remote control. It's great to just control things from your phone at times, but it is a lot easier just to get a remote and use it. Don't forget, if you want to find out which streaming service I think is best value for money, then you can watch that video just up here or in the notes below. And also in those notes, I will be sharing the different deal pages I have from over on the blog on becleverwithyourcash.com, because whenever I spot a really good deal for any of these streaming devices, I will list it on the blog and hopefully save yourself some money. So whenever you're watching this, if there is a good price, that's where you'll find it. If you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. It makes a huge difference to me. I'd love to know that you've enjoyed this video. Leave a comment as well if you can. Share it with your friends. It really does make a difference. Until next time, cheers.